Good evening everyone. Welcome to Bowls Theory of Everything. Draw consistently to within 30 centimetres of the jack, 12 inches, and the importance of line. In my last video, I gave you all the tools to get you within 2 to 3 feet or 75 centimetres of the jack. So, after a lot of practice, you're now bowling within 2 to 3 feet consistently. Okay, what now? Well, that may be enough for you. At least you'll be able to compete in most games. And if you're on a lightning fast rink, or you're bowling tee to tee, where the mat's right back and the jack's right down the far end, well, 2 to 3 feet is very good. Very good. So you may say to me, I try to bowl a few inches closer and my adjustment just like takes me further away. I just can't get that extra adjustment. It's too fine an adjustment for me. So why do I bother at all? I'm doing okay. Well, the answer to that is most bowlers are keen to do better. We are never satisfied with our current standard of play. We get beaten to the punch too often. Our good bowls are not quite good enough. We're like many sports people who strive for perfection. Dave Brailsford, the cycling supremo, called it fine margins. Yes, that's what we bowlers are after, fine margins. That's what makes a difference. Well, here are some tips to help you get those fine margins and bowl closer to the jack, within 30 centimetres. Before I look at that, let's look at where we want to put that bowl within that 30 centimetre radius of the jack. Now, for bowls that near the jack, I want to say that line is more important than length. And I've shown it here in front of you here. I have two bowls dead in front of the jack and one to the side. Now that one to the side is actually slightly closer. It doesn't look it. It's slightly closer than the ones in front, but it's not such a good bowl. It may be a bit closer, but it's not such a good bowl because from the other end, it gives the bowler a target and they can quite easily run in off it. If you look down the far side, if you look down the other end at the bowls down there, you can see I've got two bowls in front of a jack, and if you come straight on, well, you can't see the jack from an angle even, and it makes it very hard to draw to something that you can't see. So that's the first thing. You might be holding 3 shots, but if you add that one there, it's actually a bad bowl. If it's widening the head, and if you've got shots already, you don't want to widen the head. Bowlers can use this jack high bowl to come in off it and nestle right behind the jack. So if you've got two just in front of the jack, don't bowl a jack high bowl. It'll just be helping the opposition. And another thing it opens the door to is a weighted wood. If you bowl here, for example, just in front at an angle, you've widened the head by this much, and the opponent can now feel free to, with a weighted wood coming off that, or coming off this one, off that one, that one. It gives them hope where there was no hope. For example, when you're bowling down to that target there, I can't see the jack. I know it's a foot behind. My skip said it's a foot behind the back bowl there, but it's hopeless. The thing to do is to try and get your line dead in front. So line is very important. And how do we achieve that line so it's dead in line with the jack rather than wide of the jack? If you're bowling and you find yourself bowling 2-3 feet wide, then first of all, you've got to adjust your main line, your main aiming point. So if my aiming point is number 1 on the next rink, to get back to 2, and I find that I'm bowling, that bowls me too wide or too narrow, then you have to adjust that line. That's your first point of adjustment. Once you've got within this much of the jack, something like a foot or less, you can then finesse that line by standing on the outside or the inside of the mat if I'm bowling on the backhand. That can make a difference of a foot. So you can keep your line, but bowl on a different part of the mat. Another thing is you can put the mat up the rink. So if I put the mat up several yards, and I bowl from here, and I pick the same aiming point, I will be bowling wider of where I was before. So if I want to widen, if I'm bowling 2 and I want to widen my bowl, take the mat up the rink and keep the same aiming point on the bank. Or if I'm bowling from here and I want to narrow it, then bring the mat back, keep the same aiming point, and your bowl will then come in narrower. I can give you an example of this if you wish. I can show you what it's like when the mat is back. I will aim for the number 1, and I think you should find it go just the other side of the jack. But let's have a look. So I'm aiming there for the 1. So that's gone. It's gone a bit long, but you find that one. No, that one is dead in line. So if I wanted to make an adjustment to that and bowl it a bit wider, take the mat up the rink and keep the same aiming lines. I'm moving up the rink because on the tee, I aimed for the number 1, and my bowl came back in line with the jack. But if I want to widen my line, I take the mat up the rink, keep the same aiming line, and you'll see the bowl will go much wider. So now I'm going to aim for that 1. I've aimed for the 1, and you'll see that the bowl is coming that much wider, and you'll notice that the bowl is that much wider than the previous one, and that is because I'm taking a wider angle by having the mat up the rink. So those are the 2 sorts of adjustments you can make. You can either go narrower, you go on this side of the mat, it increases your angle. So you take this line, you go aim for the number 1, it'll go wider than if you go from here, it'll go narrower down the rink because you can see you're aiming a foot inside the line. So that will go you a foot inside the line you were taking before, that'll go a foot outside, and anywhere in between. These are the fine adjustments you make, moving the mat up and moving your position on the mat. So they're the sorts of things you can do to make those fine adjustments to your line. Now there are occasions when, because of the rink, because of the conditions, whatever it is, maybe mentally you cannot find a line on that particular hand. You would have to switch in that case. If you cannot find the line there, you just switch to the forehand. Don't leave it too long. Don't play the whole game not finding your line, because line is so important. Now do one demonstration of the difficulty of bowling where you can't see the jack. I know it's hidden behind those 2 dark woods in the middle. I'll bowl one there, and then I'll go up and place a bowl jack high, and see if I can make it, it should be a lot easier for me. So I'm now bowling to an imaginary jack just behind those bowls. I know the line, so I've just got to see how close I get. See, what I've done, I've bowled quite close to those bowls and not far enough near the jack. Now, I now go and place a bowl jack high, and all of a sudden, my shot becomes a lot better because I've got a bowl to bowl at. I can be confident, bowl at it, knowing that if I nudge it, it'll count two. So it gives me a double chance. It gives me a sighting of where the jack is, and it also gives me just to rest on it. So I don't have to bowl tentatively like I was last time. So here goes. See if I can get closer. See, I can be positive. See, I'm bowling a bit more positive at the... And there I am, look. Right on the jack, because I was positive. And that's the difference it makes. So try and keep your bowl dead in line and not jack rather than jack high. I'm now going to move on to improving your length. So this is where, again, the fine adjustment. You have to look at the jack, keep it in the forefront of your mind. There's not such a mechanical technique as your line. It's something which is in your mind. You have to see the length and then let your mind control the body. It controls the length of your step, the length of your arm. Your whole body goes into that length. It's not just an arm movement or a leg movement. I did do a video which showed the importance of a leg. Just the leg movement itself can make your ball go 8 to 10 yards without moving your arm, just your body motion. So your whole body goes into that length. So any adjustment to make that you're telling your body is very small, particularly indoors. You don't need to make much of an adjustment. You don't want to give the bowl a big extra push or kind of slam on the brakes either. It's all done in the mind. Your body will do what is necessary then. You can think of the process as all the F's. To get within a foot, you have to feel the length in your mind. And you have to finesse your bowl. You're feathering it down the rink. You've got a fingertip release that's all delicate. And that delicate is all you need when you change your length. So I'll cut the video now, come back and just try to adjust the length. Because one way of practicing this is to practice adjusting by small margins. That's what I'll try. I'll bowl some bowls down this way and see if I can make those fine margins, and I'll see you in a minute. You really need to be in the middle of a long practice, but this is how you start off anyway, and we'll see how I go. So first of all, and you've got to remember how you bowled the first bowl, because that's your reference point. So concentrate. If you just bowl it without knowing how you've bowled it, how can you make that fine adjustment? You've got to know exactly how you bowled it and then make that very finesse, feather, that very fine adjustment. So here goes. I'm concentrating on what I'm doing. Right, so that's my start point. I'm now going to see if I can bowl just past that. I have gone past, that's not a bad adjustment. I'll now try and go just past that one, so I've got to now concentrate on that, the back bowl, and see if I can just feather it past that one. There it goes. There it is, just past that. Now can I do a third one? And notice I've got the line, you see, I've got the line exactly in front. So once you get that line, keep going. Last bowl. Don't know whether I've given that one enough. Oh, nearly. Well, that was very close. I'll accept that, I think. So you can see about making adjustments, and it's something to practice and control. Come out on your own and do it. And remember, concentrate on that first bowl so you know how you bowled it. Then you can make those fine adjustments. Okay, let's sum up. That technique is the hardest to practice, but it's the most worthwhile of all your practicing, because the line you can get, you've got a method, but this adding just a bit of extra weight is something that will stand you in good stead in all forms of the game. How many times have you been said, just add a yard or add 2 feet, take 2 feet off? I hope this video inspires you to getting nearer to that jack. Okay, next time, something completely different. Back bowls. When you put them in, where do you put them? Probably a better term is cover bowls, because they are vital to controlling the game. You don't want to lose control by having a bowl run through and take all your shots away. So if you found this useful and you'd like to get more videos, notification, please subscribe. And any comments on what you've seen and anything else you want to raise, please let me have them. Thanks very much. Goodbye.